One scoop of this machine equals your entire day with a shovel. Think about that. A strong person, digging hard all day long, moves a sad little pile of dirt. But every road you drive, every building you sleep in, every pipe under your street required moving mountains of earth, stone, and concrete. By hand, none of it is possible. Not one bridge, not one basement. So the entire construction world is really a war against four enemies. The dirt that has to be moved, gravity that fights every lift depth because the ground below is never solid enough, and time because some materials are quietly counting down the whole time you work. And here's the twist: almost every machine on a job site beats those enemies with the exact same hidden trick. That trick is force multiplication. A human pushes a lever, a thin stream of oil under pressure does the rest, and suddenly your muscle is multiplied thousands of times. Hydraulics, leverage, and tracks that spread the weight. That's the secret language every one of these giants speaks. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. So let's meet the army. First enemy, the earth itself, and the king of moving it is the excavator. That heavy steel bucket can match a full day of hand digging in a single scoop. But don't call it a digger, because swap the tool on the end and it's also a lifter, a crane, and a hammer, all in one arm. In tight, cramped corners, its little cousin, the skid steer, takes over, converting from loader to drill to forklift in seconds. But digging is only half the job. Now you have to haul it. Loaders shuttle material across the site. Dump trucks take it for the long haul, and the heavy ones drop extra axles just to stay legal on the bridges they cross. Scrapers slice, carry, and spread earth all in one pass. Bulldozers shove tons at ground level. And the trencher, it's basically a giant chainsaw for the planet. Here's the trap though. Loose earth is a liar. Leave it, and it slowly sinks under whatever you build on top. So before anything goes up, the grader shaves the ground perfectly flat, and the roller compactor crushes it solid, some even vibrating to shake every last air gap out of the soil. Skip this step and your road eats itself from below. Now the surface. An asphalt paver lays a flawless hot layer, guided by a wire stretched to the exact height the road needs. For concrete roads, a slip former does something almost magical, extruding a solid barrier or curb continuously, with no molds at all. Watch it happen live and you'll see the paving train, truck, paver, and rollers moving as one connected creature. Enemy number 2, gravity. Because building up means lifting loads and people far past human reach. Telehandlers hand materials up like an all-terrain forklift. Boom lifts and scissor lifts carry a worker exactly where they need to be, steadier and safer than any ladder ever could. And then the lifting gets serious. All-terrain cranes big enough to drive down the highway. Rough terrain cranes on monster tires for brutal ground. Crawler cranes on tracks that hoist unimaginable loads and sometimes swing a wrecking ball. And at the top of the food chain, the tower crane. Some are so enormous, they need other cranes just to build them. A machine that requires machines. Third enemy, depth. The biggest buildings can't just sit on soft ground, they'd tilt and sink. So we reach down to solid bedrock with piles, deep columns of steel and concrete. One machine drills a shaft, drops in a steel cage and fills it. Another simply hammers the pile straight into the earth, blow after blow, until it hits something that will hold forever. And the fourth enemy is the sneakiest of all time, because concrete is a chemical clock the moment it's mixed. That's why the mixer truck keeps spinning, blending on the way so it doesn't harden before it arrives. To reach the tricky spots, concrete pumps force it through pipes at over 100 times atmospheric pressure. And to coat a wall or a tunnel, shotcrete blasts it straight on with compressed air. Which brings us to the final boss. Deep underground crawls the tunnel boring machine, and calling it a machine barely fits. It's a rolling factory. A spinning face of teeth grinds through solid rock at the front, while behind it, the finished tunnel is being built, wall by wall, as it moves. It eats a mountain in the front end, leaves a subway behind it. So next time you pass a construction site and it looks like noisy chaos, look again. It isn't chaos. It's one single organism, and every machine is just one muscle, each one built to beat dirt, gravity, depth, or time. And the real invention was never any single one of them. It was the moment we learned to take one human hand and multiply its strength 10,000-fold. So here's my question for you: of everything out there, which machine deserved to be built by other machines?